Hello and welcome. Let's see if the volume is loud enough here. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen with you. And so let me make sure I select the right screen. There we go. You should right now be able to see a screen that says LOLS 15 Fall 2021 13-week course. So what I'm going to try to do is share with you how to go ahead and, first of all, enable in settings how to get your YouTube videos so that they come into Studio and they will come through captioned if they're already captioned, and they will come in without those, the sort of links, the box that says more videos and offers students to watch more videos. Pardon, the danger in that is that if our students are into cat videos, it's going to show them a cat video that can lead them down a tunnel of just tons of videos. So I'm going to show you here. This is one of my YouTube. So it's directly from YouTube into my course, embedded in my course. You notice that when I paused, it did not put that sort of banner, more videos. But the reason for that is number one, this is my own video that I created and put in YouTube. Second, and I'll show you in the codes here, I'm going to click on oh, I've got one accessibility error. I better check that. Now, this is an old course, and that's why I'm using it. There aren't any live students in here, and I think it's a sandbox, so there never were live students here, or else it wouldn't let me edit if it had just been an old course. So what I'm going to show you here is my video, and in the codes, the easy way to find it is to look for the iframe. And I know this webinar is not about iframes or coding, but what I want to show you here on line 16, and it starts with the green iframe right here. And then it tells me what the source is. The source is a YouTube video that's been embedded. So one of the things, my hacks in the olden days, is that I used to embed, and I still do this just out of habit, but I would embed right after the URL for the YouTube video, which is this right here with HTTP, and before the end quote here, right? So right within the coding for that video, I would type in question mark equals question mark REL equals 0. And let me see if I can zoom in there so you can see that code and where I used to embed that. And that was my hack. So for the longest time, this is what I would do. Every time I embedded a video, I'd go into the code and then I would type in that little snippet of code to ensure that whenever students clicked on my YouTube videos, they would not see that sort of banner. Or whenever they paused, they might see more videos or ads or something. So recently, as recent as last week, I think Tuesday or Wednesday, we have this new system we can use. And now let me see if it works on old assignments. So first of all, we go into our course navigation menu. We go all the way to the bottom. We click on settings, right? Then we will go ahead and click on feature options once. Once you click on that, scroll towards the bottom. And you should see a little tab here at the bottom that reads YouTube to Studio Content Migration. Notice that right now it's checked. It has a red sort of circle with an X through it, meaning it's not enabled. We want that to look like this one. Outcome service results for Canvas reporting. And it has a nice little circle, a green circle with a white little check mark in that. So I'm going to go ahead and click on this, but I'm curious because it has a little downward caret. So I'm going to click on that and just read what it says. Turn on YouTube to Studio Content Migration feature, adding the scanning ability and the convert option on YouTube embeddings. Okay, all right, let's check that out. So I'm going to enable. So the way I do that is I click on the little circle there, and then instead of the disabled to be checked, I'm going to click on enabled and note here that now I have that lovely little green check mark. And I also notice I have a lot of other stuff that's not enabled for this. And if memory serves, this action is for this course. I believe, that this action doesn't then apply to any course that I have. That's the way I kind of think of this. Typically, that's what it is for all of these, but we'll see. All right, so I'm going to do that. Then I'm going to go into my course navigation and I'm just going to click on save. Just because did you notice there wasn't a save there? And I'm a little paranoid about things not taking when I think they're going to take. All right. So now that we've done that, we're going to go into our studio and I'm trying to recall if this is has to be studio that is for the course or if it is studio that's for your entire instance. So I'm going to go into the entire instance here. And now notice what I have that I didn't have before. Now we had another thing that was get Zoom recordings so that they automatically come into Studio. That's a whole different thing, but that's also something that maybe we can explore if you're interested, especially now that they're telling us, hey, you need to delete everything from your Zoom cloud, right? So that would have been an option, but that's a separate thing. All right. So here, if we go to course collections, we click down, we see here that sandbox. And I have a lot of them, but I think this is the one. And it says no add videos, none added. So let me go ahead and see what may have. All right, so from here, I have updated this course and saved that just to make sure that the changes that I made did take. I'm not sure that's absolutely necessary, but I just do it out of habit. Next, we're going to move our cursor over to the left-hand corner here to the course navigation menu, and you'll notice that you should have a new tab or button, and that is titled YouTube Migration. So we're going to go ahead and click on that once. And then it reads YouTube content migration. This tool helps you identify YouTube videos in your course that may display ads. Each row shows a Canvas page, module, or discussion where one or more YouTube videos were found. After migration, videos will be added to your course collection and remain as links, so no storage will be used. You can rescan the course anytime with the scan button. So I'm going to go ahead. There's two scan buttons. This tells me the desert means that I haven't scanned the course yet. There's a scan link down here at the bottom there. And then there's a bigger, more obvious button right here at the top right-hand corner in blue. So I'm going to scan course. And it takes a little while, but not long enough, I think, to go make coffee. No, not even long enough for me to finish the sentence. So it tells me that I have 61 YouTube content detected in this course. So one of the things that it does, it tells me what the Canvas resource is. It tells me what type it is, pages, 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 pages. So almost all of my YouTube videos seem to be in pages. And then I have a couple in assignments right down here at the bottom. It tells me that I have a couple of these videos that are in assignments. What's another thing that it tells me? It tells me how many videos are within a page so that you'll notice that most of them just have one. But I already recognize these that have these main points and lectures. The reason that there will be four on a page is that I try to chunk out each video to be about 5 minutes long, shorter if I can. And so one of the other things that I can do is review. So I'm going to click on that review button and then it shows me the videos. So I'm like, oh, okay, this makes sense. These are my little chunked out, these are Prezi sort of slides that I read over. And so I have the option to convert. This is why it's so important to have titles that we recognize as what we want them to be. Um, because then I can see here, it's like, oh, yes, this is exactly what I need to convert. So I can click on that convert button there, and then I can scroll down and convert this one, and then finally this one. Okay. So it's converting. I'm not exactly sure what would happen if I close this out right now. I tend to like to leave things doing what they're supposed to do before closing that out. So I'm going to go ahead and let that run. and show, oh no, it already showed converted. So actually it's not that long. Now, I don't know if it didn't take that much time because these are shorter videos. It probably is sort of a match thing in terms of if you have a long video, it might just take, this process might take just a little bit longer. But you can see one, two, three, four, they're all converted. So I'm going to go ahead and close here. And then I should be able, and it tells me here, content type, instead of saying a page, it tells me that it's converted. And now it tells me that it no longer has those YouTube videos. So let me write down here, that was week 2, and this is the main points. All right. So there are a couple of things I can do. I can go into Studio. Let's try that again. I'm trying the Studio within my Canvas Studio, and there are the 4 videos that I had that were YouTube into now Canvas Studio. So they're in the course itself. This was the course where I tried to do all of that. But if they're here, that means they're also in the studio that's in the global navigation menu. All right, so they're here. They should have the captions. One of the great things about this is that I will be able to then see the interactions. So if I go here, I'll be able to see the details, comments, if I enable students to comment on the video, but I can see the insights. Right now, there aren't any students in this course. There never were. This was just a sandbox. But if this were a live course, I would see a list and a little, the profile icon, um, avatar of each student listed across, and then it will show me the interaction. That means it will show me up to what point they paused or stopped, and it will also show me how many times they viewed the video. If I were to click on this and then pause, notice that I don't get that banner, that more videos banner. So now this is a true test. I'm not sure if this transfers exactly to where this was, but let's go into the modules. And I believe that was week 2. So we'll close this out here and we'll go into week 2. And those were week 2 main points and videos. So I'm going to click here and then just see what happens in terms of my videos. So now notice that instead of having my video as just a plain YouTube video, now this is a studio video.
Hello.
And so if I pause again, you don't see it. Now it does have the YouTube stamp because that's where it came over. But this is a YouTube video, and so I'm wondering if I can shortcuts. No, probably not. So I'm not going to be able to see any of the insights here. And the reason I don't see the insights here is that I didn't enable it to show to students. I don't really want students to see that big banner that you get at the bottom. I just want them to see the video. And then I go into Studio if I'm interested to see how much they viewed the video. Now, again, if you're interested in enabling comments for this, it's really easy. It just means that when you're starting to embed, and we can try that out. Let me see if it'll let me do that. Now, this is a tabbed, it's a tabbed page, so that's why I'm a little nervous about adding anything. But let me just go to the way bottom of this and let's go into Canvas Studio by clicking on that little screen with the tentacles. And let's just pick something random. How about this? Now, this is where you'll be able to let students see the media tabs. Display media tabs, you would toggle that on, right? I've noticed, and I don't know if this is just for me because I don't like showing the media tabs, if the default for you is with it on. It used to be. It used to be that the default was that the media, display media tabs was automatically what happened whenever we embedded a studio video. But I'm going to leave this off here. But no, well, let me show you what it looks like. So I'm going to go ahead and embed media. And so granted, this is not one of the ones I brought in from that I had that I converted. This was one that I just had laying around. But this is what it would look like to my students. They would actually be able to type in a comment here, especially could subscribe to comments so that they would know when new comments came in. But this is a way to get students. interested in maybe interacting. You can also, once you have any YouTube video in Studio, you can also add like a quiz, places within each one of these videos, wherever you want, where you're asking students uh, to reply, to fill in an answer, to pick true or false before they can move on with the video. And this helps if you're going to quiz them on the video. My suggestion is maybe have those moments when they pause and then have those be also questions. Okay, so last trick I'm going to show you here. I'm going to save this here. This is a page. It's the only place you can do this. So there it is. There's this, there's my next steps, and now it has this video that's not relevant to this at all, right? But what I can do is I can go to the three dots next to on the right-hand side of the edit button, and I'm going to view page history, and I'm going to go to the last time this was good. And that was probably at 9:12 before I embedded that other video. So let me take a look and make sure. Yes, that looks good. It looks like the last time it was good. And I'm going to restore this revision, restore, and close it out. And now if I look at my page, it should look the same way as it did after after the conversion, right? So in the newer save, there was a big video here about, cocaine or something. But now I don't have that. I have it the way I like it with the new studio um, videos there. If you have any questions, let me stop share here. If you'd like for us to go bit by bit and do it together, you share your screen. I am happy to do that. Please reach out. The best place really is the Canvas inbox through the ETC, the Educational Technology Center, just because I do see those more often than the Outlook messages, which just get buried. There's just a lot that comes through the Outlook inbox. All right. Well, I hope that you found this interesting and I hope that you test it out. See if you like it. Okay. Take care. Bye bye.